So this week's episode of Gamers, all I have to say is this might be one of the most pure but strange relationships I've seen with an anime in quite a while. I mean, Tendo with our main character, it just feels so awkward, but also so perfect at the same time. And I do appreciate that the fact that the anime, it didn't go the route of, like, canceling out this relationship. It does feel like we're probably going to end the series with either the relationship continuing or failing at least, but I do like how the second half is going to focus on this very confused relationship where each party, not even the people just within the relationship, but also all the outsiders and things like that, how they're all misinterpreting this relationship, how our main character thinks his best friend likes Tendo. You really need a flowchart, I feel like, to properly pinpoint how each character is thinking at any given episode. And that's why I think Gamers works, is even though every single episode it is just misunderstanding after misunderstanding, it's interesting how each of the characters and how they're thinking, it continues to evolve, but in a negative way, because each one is just not understanding exactly what's going on. People that are within a relationship thinks that their partner is cheating on them with another, when in actuality they're just misinterpreting the scene at hand, like, why is my boyfriend looking guilty at me? Oh, he must be cheating. But that's not what's going on, where he's also thinking a different thing. And I like that. I also really appreciate the scene with the rooftop there, where, like, essentially, it's just such a bizarre scene, and also he's talking about how, like, he can't disconnect, like, he's gotta, like, kind of continue forward past everything here. It's like, every week, all I can think of, like, halfway through an episode is, like, I just can't even with this anime. It's so ridiculous, but it continues to work, and that's kind of impressive, because the concept of Gamer shouldn't work in a long-form anime. Like, this shouldn't work in 12 episodes with 20-minute episodes, because really, this feels like more of a comedy short style of show. Like, this is something that you would expect you would watch, like, 6-minute episodes for, because it's more or less the same thing every week with just new misunderstandings or the misunderstandings evolving, but they're doing a pretty good job. Like, even though I wasn't the biggest fan like most people were of last week's episode, I still had fun with it, and this episode is really just charming. It's also pretty damn adorable, I have to say, when you see Tendo getting very worked up when Amano is pretty much getting near any girl, like she's telling him that he's not allowed to go look for the lost sister because she doesn't want him to go off with another girl. It's actually pretty adorable to see Tendo get flustered because she's kind of like worried about her boyfriend going off with another girl when in like everyone else in the school and around him is like, how the hell did this guy get Tendo? It makes no sense. And I enjoy that part of the relationship, and I really do hope that continues, even though it's a very kind of cliche thing. I think it's just very adorable to see Tendo get that flustered over her boyfriend, worrying that her boyfriend is going off with another girl or something like that. I just find that charming myself. Even though it's not original, I like how they're handling it within this series. But one thing I gotta give major props to is Tendo's voice actress. She did a phenomenal job. The rooftop scene, especially with how her embarrassed girl voice was going, I thought that was just splendid voice acting. Like, it didn't feel like a person reading a script. It actually felt like we were just witnessing a scene on this rooftop, like, person to person, because of how well her voice actress nailed it. I really enjoyed it. Like, the voice acting is always good, but I really think Tendo's, like, literally just stole the show. It was awesome. And I have to say, like, I know some of these, like, backing tracks that they were using, especially, like, within the cafe scene there, I know they've been using them, but I never really paid attention to the OST that much. But this episode, I found myself, like, I was focusing a lot more on the OST itself, and I have to say, I like the soundtrack. Like, it's not overly kind of, like, in your ears kind of a thing. It just kind of, like, subtly is there. But it almost kind of feels like carnival music at times, but I really like how it works with the scenes. It makes a lot of these scenes just come off as more silly and just ridiculous, and it actually works in its favor. So the sound this episode, I really enjoyed. Like, even though a lot of these tracks I know were in previous episodes, this was the first time I really was, like, focusing on it. I was like, damn, this is actually really good composition here. Like, this is really good music, and as well, the voice acting I liked as well. But this series, like, it doesn't change much episode to episode, but it retains the charm and quality, and I think that's the most important thing with a series such as this. The comedy may be a hit or a miss for some people. Like, even though I didn't find myself laughing nonstop, I was charmed by this episode quite a bit. Like, it's just the Tendo and Amano stuff, it's so just perfect, but also not perfect, that it just blends into this beautiful relationship that I hope lasts the rest of the series, because it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. And ultimately, how are these misunderstandings going to come to an end? Like, you need a flowchart to be able to figure out exactly what person A is thinking about person D and how person D is interacting with person C. It's a big cluster of a mess pretty much, and I love it. But really, gamers just never really disappoint. It's always an entertaining ride no matter what, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this relationship is going to happen in episode 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, where are we going to see this relationship go, and how is this really even gonna be about gamers? Because I really don't feel like this is really about gaming culture. It's more about just socially awkward people in a group, and I love it for that. But I really did like the Mario Kart stuff near the end of the episode. That was pretty fun and also cute with them on the bus, things like that. This was a good episode. I enjoyed it. But at the core, what did everyone think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moment and why? Let me know your thoughts. And before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.